one of the basic functions that we have worked so far at the beginning of this tutorial is print function. And we say that print function, basically the is function, you only use it when you want to output a particular message on the terminal. That's the place where the user will finally see the result or have an interaction with, right? So the terminal, we call that place the terminal. So print function allows you to print something from your code onto the terminal for the end users to actually view or interact with, right? That's basically the print function. So even though it looks simple, I put something inside and to print on terminal, you have to also be careful with what kind of items you give the print function to put for you. You have to be also technical or intentional about the data types that go into the and then how to do the previous combinations. And that's what we are going to start in this session. So basically, we have a print function that we want to um, do, right? So usually, let me have two variables here. I'm going to put two variables here. Let's say the first variable will be my age variable will equal to, let's say, 15. And then my name, yeah, my name is equal to, let me put somewhere here. Yeah. So this is a sample two variables. The first variable is containing an age, which is of data type what? Int, and then integer. And this one, my name, is of data type string. We've talked about this all this time. This print, right? Now, by default, um a print function actually takes one data type at once. By default, right? Print takes one data type at once. So, but then the most convenient one for the print function is the string. So have it in mind that the print function takes one data type at once. So for example, print. So here I'm putting some message. Fine. So you can see that it is taking this variable print some message. So when I run this code, let me pull this one out for you. When I run this code, so you can see some message here, right? Some message is the one that actually counts because that's what we give to the print function and it returns that for you. The data type that we have here is a string because we have the double quotation mark around that. We talk about these data types already. Okay, so now let's say we want to now add another message. We want to add another message to this. We want to add another message to this. So we have some message, right? And we want to add another message. Let me say second message. Yes. See what I've done. So I have some message, quotation close, right? Then we have second message, quotation close. Let's run this and see. So we have some message, second second message, and then it's final actually shows the two of them. So here I have the first one, the first string. This is the first string, and then I have the second string also starting and ending here, right? But then there's no space there, right? Okay, since there's no space, let's try and introduce a space here. So let's try and introduce some space here. So you see that I added a space here before I'm adding the next one, right? So here we are adding the messages of the same data type. So our message is a string, and then second message is also a string. So we are basically adding them, and then I'm intentionally putting a space in between them here and see whatever will happen, right? Let's um, let's clear the terminal and run. Oh, it's like the space did not come. Wow, a space did not come. So how can we put the message inside it? So if this virtual space that we put inside them doesn't count inside the print function, any space that we put over here doesn't count inside the print function. So how do we put a space between them? So one way of doing that smartly is that, so you know that this one, inside this particular first message in this string, right? When you are done, don't close the quotation mark. Before you close the quotation mark, you can add a space before the quotation mark ends, right? So this particular one, this particular space we added before this first quotation mark end will serve as a space when the message comes out. Let's see that. You see that second message space second some message space second message. So that's what we have here. So we are basically working with string and a string, right? So one other way you can do it, like instead of adding the space here, I can go and add it before starting the next one. So yeah, I have a string open and then a space before the next one. So I'm being intentional about these spaces I'm adding because I know that the space outside the string quotation inside the string will not be counted. So what I have to do is that inside the string message itself, I add a space either at the end if there's a previous thing behind it, or if I can add it to the first one so that I can provide a space between the current message and next one, right? Yeah, basically that. So let's run this thing again and see. So if you run this, we are going to have the same thing. So this space now is following is as a result of this one. But then any space outside will not be counted. Okay, but this is confusing. So what if I forget to do the spacing and all that? Right? It's actually doing the space thing. So one other way of doing that is that you see, I'm not going to add any space between there, but then for the first measure, after the first measure, I'll put a comma. I'll put a comma, right? So you see, there's inside the string itself, I'm not adding any space, right? So after the first message, I do comma, second message, and I'm going to just basically going to run that. So how am I going? What am I going to get? Let's see what we are going to get. Yeah. So automatically there's a space. So using a comma between different components of a print message, right, will actually allow you to add the comma automatically introduce a space. So you need to keep that in mind, that the comma before the next message, the next thing, the next item in the print function, meaning that you are adding a space before the next one, add a space before the next one, add a space before the next one. Yeah. So this is the simple message that we are having, basically, right? Okay. Now let's go to something more formal, something more unique, right? So right now, what we want to do is that um, we want to print a message, right? So we want to print an actual message. Let's say the message I want to give to this guy, because it's a message, right? It's something that is not a number. It's not a number, so we need to put it in a string. We've talked about that in one of our when we're talking about data types. So the message I want to have, I want to say, my name is I'll put a space. But then the next thing that I want to add, right? I will not add, let me not put a space here so it doesn't confuse anyone. But let's make use of the comma. The comma automatically introduces a space. I'm doing a comma. My name is comma. Why am I even doing a comma? My name is, why can't I just do my name is, see the variable here? Look at the variable here. Look at the variable. The variable is containing somewhere, right? So this variable contains Samuel. My name is Samuel. That's what I want to say. My name is Samuel, right? But then the name is the Samuel is inside the variable my name. So I want to call that variable. I want to use that variable rather. So I'll say my underscore name. Okay, let me run this thing. My name is underscore my name. Hoping that this particular my name, I'm referring to this variable, and this variable will contain what? It will be will bring Samuel. So let's see if Samuel will come out or not. Okay, we are running this. Oh, my name is my name. So it's printing the name of the variable, not the content of the variable. So it's just telling us that when you are doing this kind of thing, right, when you are going to bring a variable instead of the actual thing. So you could have just basically directly, if you know that thing, right, if you have said Samuel, my name is Samuel, but then we know that before here, we know that Samuel is inside the variable my name, right? We want to use that variable and call it. We don't want to type directly my name inside. So how do we do that? How do we do that? So because of that, we need to actually, if it's a variable, you need to actually make sure that you consider the variable as a different item, So I'm going to do comma my name, my underscore name. You see that? So you see the color has changed. The color is now blue because I'm now outside the string. This string is a symbol message. And this comma that I'm adding here before this is going to add a space. And then my name is the name of the variable that we have here. So let's run this thing again. So I run this. So now I have my name is Samuel. So my name is, then there's a space before Samuel. Did you notice that? There's a space before Samuel in the answer. So that space is because of the comma here. And my name is now not printing itself, my name and the name of the variable, but it's printing the content of my name variable. So So we consider the my name as another uh, another item, right? So now what I'm going to do comma. Whenever I'm doing comma, I mean I'm adding a space in front of it, right? So now I'm going to add a container, and my age is comma my age, my underscore age. You see that? So I hope I don't need this particular space will not be counted actually, but then I just added it for formalities. But then for clarity, so you can add it or not. It doesn't count. It doesn't count in the answer. But then the presence of the comma itself already introduces a comma, so we don't necessarily need an extra space. I can even add multiple space before it, right? Those spaces don't doesn't count. So let's run this and see. Let's clear this thing. Mm. See that my name is Samuel, which is the first one. My name is, then the Samuel is from the my name variable, and my age is 15. The 15 is because of this. You see that this all this plenty space doesn't count. It doesn't count at all. But then the comma is introducing. You see the is and the 15. There's a space between them. There's a space between the is and 15 in the output. So that particular because of the comma, right? Yeah. So here, that's how we can put so this thing that is not necessary. It's not necessary. So you have this particular thing out there, right? So I can do this thing more. I can better this thing, right? I believe I can better this. So I can say, and my and I I am and I am I'm going to call my age. You see that my age, comma, years old. So basically, this is what we are calling, right? So when we run this particular thing, we are going to have this particular output. Yes, so you see that you have my name is Samuel and I am 15 years old, right? It basically comes out because of the comma is actually already generating a space for us, right? And then so yeah, it's just about having a variable. So this is one way of using the variable inside the message, such that you combine the stuff, put space between them using the comma. So try some examples. Let's see how you can also do that. And then in the next session, we'll learn how to use the format, the F key to actually do more formats and make things better for us. See you in the next session.